One thing that I've been wanting to talk about, and I find is extremely important for a good and healthy life, for a good mind, to be able to dedicate yourself to the things that you want to do and to achieve what you want, is to make sure that you're resting and you're recovering, but more importantly that you schedule those moments to rest, to recover, to have some downtime, because that's one thing that we always tend to not do. Obviously we work however many hours a day you work. For a normal person, 8 hours a day. We schedule in a time for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but then we forget to and we schedule in maybe like our running and some family time, and then the chores like the dishes or emptying the bins or fixing the table, whatever it is. We schedule all those things, but how often do we schedule time to just sit down and watch YouTube, time to just sit down and read a book? I think that's one of the things that people put on the very back burner and don't even do, and that's why we have so much stress, and we have all this built up angst and added we don't really recover very well. It's an extremely important thing to sort of prioritize. I always do it, and it was quite funny. I was on the phone to my mum the other day and we were just talking, and I was explaining about how I just want to go home and just sit down and do nothing and watch something on YouTube, and that was it sounded kind of funny that was something I wanted to go home and go and do, rather than, I don't know, going for a walk outdoors or going and buying some beans. Great example, but I mean, true story, buying beans is quite an important thing for me. But if we don't prioritize those moments where we have downtime, where we can let the body shut down and relax, where we can let our mind drift away from all the thoughts and fears that we have. Are we stressing about work and thinking about work so much, or are we trying to think about how we can improve our 5k time, whatever it may be? Sorry, I'm looking at my watch trying to figure out where I'm going. Took a wrong turn, so I've got to go back this way actually. And it's super important. I always try and make it that in the evenings before bed, I always have like 2 hours of time just to do and sit and relax and do whatever I want with no schedule. And that also includes like your own little personal tasks, that you've got to book flights for a holiday, or you're trying to organize your next running event and you're trying to do the nutrition plan for it. Obviously, if that is something that is relaxing and meditative for you, then that's also a really great thing. But making sure that you do have time just to switch off. I see it that it makes my mind a lot more clear and sharp. So in the moments when you do need to make decisions, or when you do want to kind of be focused on something else, that you can give your dedicated time to those moments. It's like, I give a perfect example for it at work, one thing which I learned from my days working at Marriott hotels is that emails, most people have an email inbox for work, and it probably gets inundated with loads of emails where you're copied in, where you're CC'd in for FYI, that perfect one, or the ones that got like multiple layer long of strings of conversations that you have to read through. And what happens normally when we get to work in the morning, we scroll through, we read, we check for the ones that are the most important, the ones that require the most attention or immediate action, and we get back to them, but we skim through all the others. We do actually read the top few lines. Can you do this for me? Or just in case you needed to know, and we scan through it. Then later in the day, we tend to go back through those emails. Now, what I'd suggest here is you actually set aside an amount of time, rather than just leave the email box. If it's urgent, someone will get back to you. Someone will contact you, directly. And if it's not that urgent, what you want to do is schedule a certain amount of time in your day 1 hour in the morning, let's say after 10 o'clock, after you've done other tasks, and you actually go through and read them one by one and action them, rather than reading them twice. You're sort of killing your own time. And this is what I'm talking about with the other things, that, you know, we spend so long kind of thinking, okay, well, yeah, I should book the flights to Italy, and but then you carry on doing something else, and you click back and you do like half and half, but it doesn't really serve any purpose for your, you know, for the actions that you want to take out, but also for your mind. It really doesn't have a calm mind can really help you be more prosperous in the things that you want. And I'd really recommend it, and it's really alleviated any, I mean, I don't want to say I've ever really, well, been that stressed. I'm not, but I'm quite good at sort of not stressing out. And this is one of the things that I would kind of give a tip for someone who wants to get rid of stress and wants to get rid of that, you know, angst and sort of things like that. So just remember to schedule some downtime for yourself. I thought it was going to go fast. Schedule downtime for yourself. Prioritize you, because that is who you are, and that's, you know, ultimately how good you feel is how well you look after yourself. So please look after yourselves. I'll look after me, and I'll try and look after you as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. And what beautiful environment I am in, eh? Helsinki Central Park. Got a video on it, check it. It's probably in the link down below or on my channel. Thanks a lot. Like and subscribe.